There's a story about JD Vance that has nothing to do with couches that has been making its way all across the internet. It's about a 12-year-old relative of JD Vance who was denied a heart transplant because she is unvaccinated. The Daily Mail headline expands on this and says JD Vance's 12-year-old relative denied a heart transplant because she's not vaccinated against COVID and flu. There those doctors go again with their science-based agenda. Some of the best reporting and follow-up reporting I have seen on this story comes from a local paper, the Cincinnati Inquirer. Inquirer. Okay. The story has since had a follow-up that includes a link to the statement made by Children's Hospital. Notice the headline. It reads, "Family says Cincinnati Children's won't put unvaccinated daughter on heart transplant list." The family says, and it's on the heart transplant list. There is not a heart that is just waiting somewhere about putting her on the list for a heart transplant. The relationship to JD Vance is that Janine Deal, daughter's mother, is related by marriage to one of JD's half siblings. Adeline was adopted from China when she was 4 years old. And the worst part is that they knew of two of her heart conditions and that she would one day need a transplant. After 10 years of treatment at Cincinnati Children's, doctors told Adeline's parents that she would need 2 vaccinations in order to be put on the heart transplant list. Janine told the Inquirer, quote, "I thought, wow, so it's not about the kid. It's not about saving her life." That's exactly what it's about. Janine believes that vaccines are unsafe and also said they came to their decision after, quote, "the Holy Spirit put it on our hearts." I can't say what the Holy Spirit put on their hearts or not, but I can tell you that their GoFundMe to pay for the surgery was struggling until this story came out. According to this piece, it jumped from $1,500 to where it currently stands at $57,000. And because I can never say this enough, it is horrendous that we have to crowdsource to pay for life-saving surgeries. It's also horrendous to use your daughter as a political pawn, which is what's happening because already there is legislation in Ohio that will, quote, "prevent Ohio hospitals from continuing to discriminate against children based on their vaccination status." Cincinnati Children's did not directly respond to requests for comment. It did put out a statement on transplant evaluations and immunization considerations. And broad strokes, what they say is that organ transplantation is one of the most complex procedures. Organ donation is a profound and selfless gift from another patient and family, and the number of available organs is limited. Our responsibility is to ensure that every donated organ is used in a way that maximizes successful outcomes for children in need, end quote. In this case, a child who has a transplant is going to be immunosuppressed for the rest of their lives. Quote, "Vaccines play a critical role in preventing or reducing the risk of life-threatening infections, especially in the first year." Not only do you have to worry about the body rejecting the organ, you're also way more susceptible to be incredibly ill. You know how there was the Key and Peele sketch of the angry Obama translator? I feel like the angry doctor translator here would be, "I don't give a flying about what the Holy Spirit told you over breakfast at Howard Johnson's. We're literally just trying to give your child the best opportunity for survival." We also learned in this piece that Adeline is one of 12 children that Janine and her husband have. 8 were adopted in total. And Janine is confident that Adeline won't have any problems with COVID-19 after her heart transplant. Quote, "We'll take it as we can if it happens. But I know I cannot put this vaccine in her body knowing what we know and how we feel about it," end quote. Talk about it not being about the child. Anyway, this is a great reminder to read past the headlines, cross-check with other sources, and also see what the local paper is saying. Look at what they write. Look at the follow-up. This piece was chock full of information. It's continuously being updated with new stories and new information. It's excellent. More to come.